Hello everyone and welcome back to Jam Plays Daily Valhalla. Happy New Year's Eve everyone. I hope you guys are enjoying the festivities. I hope you're enjoying the final day of 2024 and looking forward to the new year. But before the new year starts, of course, we've got a party to attend in Valhalla and an interesting potential interaction with Gaby coming up. So, let's get right into it. Happy New Year. May all your wishes come true in a new bountiful year filled with health and joy. I'll leave the closet open in case you want to hide from the noise. Thanks. Aw, Jill's being a good pet owner. Now before we get into this, I want to show you guys a little Easter egg with the remaining funds we have for the shop since we really don't have to worry about money at any point. We are going to get the assorted cartridges. And we are going to get the PC9X. It's vintage gaming. Experience all the cumbersome load times they were meant to be. Perfect. Now with those two items, we have actually unlocked a minigame. Yes, this indie game has a little minigame in it. Model Warrior Julianne based on the show Jill's obsessed with. It's not an especially deep game, this is literally it, it's just like a run and gun shooter, like the Cuphead plain levels, for if you want a modern reference, but we're basically shoot until you lose all your lives. I'm very bullet hell, I am not good at this, but I do not even know if there's an ending. If there is, I've never reached it. But yeah, I am a sucker for when games have like the second smaller game inside them. I don't know why, I just think that's like the coolest thing in the world. Like for example, I love it when in Stardew Valley they have like Journey of the Fairy King in there. Even though I'm also not good at that game either, I love it when games like add a second game, like a sub-game in there for no reason. Or like how Splatoon 1 had the squid jump game. But yeah, so that's a little fun little Easter egg for you guys. But for now, let's look at the news. See if there is any. Thank you, Admin Chris. We wanted to stop the epic memeing for a while just to say thank you. Big thanks to each and every one of you who bought this game. Thank you for reaching up to this point into the game. Thanks for all your tweeting, all your questioning through Tumblr, all the emails, etc, etc. Even though we couldn't answer every single thing, we can't stress how much we appreciate all the messages we got. Thank you very much. The road was rocky, things weren't as smooth as we had hoped around the end of development. And we even had some people actively trying to sabotage our work, but like Big Match John, we beat the odds and kicked out at 2. Thanks for reading through all of my nonsense. Hope it wasn't too heavy-handed from Admin Furfur. Stukabon, let's fill the world with badass cuties. This thread is closed. Yeah, so I am like 90% sure. Yeah, this is just like the devs, like the actual devs of the game, just inserting a thank you message, which is a very cute way of doing it. I do like how Jill says weird message, like, the fourth wall has been shattered before your very eyes, Jill. Anna sees all. But yes, this is a very sweet message from the devs. Does Kira Miki have anything to say? No, just the same as always. I think she's only updated her blog like twice since we got it. The augmented eye is down for maintenance. Sorry for the inconvenience. Yeah, so really only one new message. It's just the dev message. But yeah, that's sweet. Anyways, I guess there's nothing left to do but go to work. Let's go. Saturday, December 31st. Jill is silent. Well, let's see. Gil is in the back getting everything ready. God knows he doesn't get enough random errands from Dana. I'll go grab some food I've ordered. They only agreed to work on New Year's if I went to pick it up myself. Are you alright? I'm scared. Oh, bless. Gaby will show up any minute. Relax, everything will be alright. I can assure you of that. Drink something, maybe that'll cheer you up. Maybe. Jill just downs like 10 fringe weavers. Alright, I'm ready to talk to Gaby. I'll leave you for a bit, but keep your chin up. If you get through this, I'll give you, I don't know, a hug. Does that work? Given that Jill has a not-so-secret crush on you, I'm sure that's more effective than you could possibly imagine, Dana. A hug? A big one. Or a word for after everything's said and done. I don't know, though. Dana having, like, a mechanical arm and giving her propensity for being tough? I feel like that would be physically painful. Gotta go. You can do it. Right. Although, I will say, Dana is one of, like, the best characters in this game. Just because she's so aggressively positive all the time, like... I feel like we all need a Dana in our lives, you know? We really do. Everything's fine. I've been avoiding this for all these years. Now it's time to face it head on. Yeah, everything's fine. Everything will be better after I talk to Gaby. Boss might even give me a hug. Neuron activated. I'm okay. Oh, and here she is. Wow, Gaby, you never heard of fashionably late? Hello. Gaby. Come in. Excuse me. Welcome to Valhalla. I don't even know how I would do two voices at once. I guess I could, like, edit it later in post since this is pre-recorded. But I'm lazy, so just... Hey. Hey. You talk first. No, well... Productive conversation. Some days ago, I got a letter. And even odder than getting a letter is the fact that it was from your sister. A what? Well, you see, Gaby, a letter is a piece of paper that is sent through the mail. Oh, no. My sister sent you a letter? That's the first I've heard of it. What did it say? I don't know. I never opened it. At least not until now. Huh? I figured I should read it with you. Yeah, let's do it. Let's read it. Alright then. Sorry. Just that? Lenora is a woman of few words. Yep. Isn't there anything else in the letter? Maybe on the back? This is just like your sister. I spent days worried about this letter, not wanting to open it for fear of what it might contain. I lost sleep and appetite thinking about it. And after all those worries, after all those problems, after all those years not talking to her, she sends me a letter, a fucking letter of all things, and she just says, sorry? Sorry for what? For our fight? For not talking all these years? Ugh, now I'm fucking pissed. Are you laughing? Sorry, I just... I remembered all the times my sis provoked you that way. Like that time when she gave you chocolates labeled 1, 2, and 4 during Valentine's Day. As an aside, I have always wanted to do a prank in that similar fashion where I label something 1, 2, and 4 to drive people insane. But you were pissed about the lack of a free. Or that time when you left an unopened beer bottle on the table and you sneakily opened it and took a sip. Not sure how that's a prank as much as it's just generally being a tad rude, but okay. She didn't tell you she did it and you were confused all day long. She always bragged that she knew me like the back of her hand. The letter was supposed to piss me off like that. I guess she had all the rights to brag. Maybe she was being sincere, though. She did express to me that she was sorry on more than one occasion. She did, huh? You told me she died from localized nanomachine rejection, right? In her heart, yeah. Instead of the massive rejection that always makes the news, her case was more focused. They usually amputate or replace the part and call it a day. But organs are different. The condition made her susceptible to transplant rejections. Not to mention artificial hearts and genetic treatments were out of the question. Yep. Thing is, apparently she suffered that since she was 18, but kept it a secret from everyone. Why? Hell if I know! I was angry to learn that she hid it! Why didn't she tell me? Was it to avoid worrying me? Was she ashamed? What was it? Wait, how did she live so normally then? She had to use a serum. Shots near her heart every 3 days. Apparently, the serum burns like hell. The shot even left her a nasty mark where she had to apply them. So the thing near her left breast wasn't a birthmark? And the rejection was what ended up killing her? The nanomachine rejection was what ended up killing her. They couldn't find what made her so vulnerable. Doctor said she might have missed a shot, or the shots made her other defenses grow weaker. The condition could have just gone nuts out of nowhere. Or maybe it was blood pressure. Also, as an aside, I've just kind of thought about this. Can we talk about that this is the second time that Gaby, as a middle school-esque age human, has just gone to a bar in a self-proclaimed shady part of town in a cyberpunk hellhole, without like a parent or a guardian or any sort of adult. Because I was just like thinking of like, man, Gaby has to break down all the details of Lenore's like illness and stuff. Like, this is heavy for like a middle schooler. Why isn't her parents doing that? And I'm like, oh wait, that's right, because they're not freaking here. Like, I do think they do explain something a little later, if I recall correctly, about Gaby and Lenore's parents a little bit. Like, so they're not like completely unmentioned, but still. It's very funny, like, that, like, imagine, like, a 12-year-old coming to you and saying, like, my adult sibling that you are friends with has perished. Here's all the medical details that I can provide to you. Also, she's got that Randy from A Christmas Story scarf going on there. Maybe it was I'm sorry I took tension from the moment there. It's just something I thought about that I haven't thought about when playing the game, so. Maybe it was a regular heart attack and the rejection acted afterwards. We don't know. She kept it a secret from everyone, so nobody knows. Maybe if she had told me about it, I could have helped her. Maybe she'd still be alive. Maybe she wouldn't have faced it alone instead of just dying in her sleep. Thinking about what ifs won't bring her back. I spent so much time hammering myself with what ifs after you told me she died. What if I waited to cool it down a bit back then? What if I just swallowed my fears at that very moment? What if I apologized earlier? What if I had given a chance to the Research Institute thing back then? The amount just increased threefold after I lashed out at you the other day. But today I realized something. Having such regrets with the dead is a hollow effort. You're alive, you're here. I can make amends with you, but I can't make amends with the dead. I can't apologize to her like I can apologize to you right now. Jill. Lenore, she's resting now. She's just resting after having that heart condition all these years. She didn't have to face it alone, though. If she only... So, let's celebrate her life and achievements. If we are to mourn, let's mourn her together. If we are to honor her, we'll do it together. Together. Lenore was a fun-loving person. The best we can do right now is try to lighten up. Even if it's only for a moment. I need to ask, though. Did she really start to complain about those chest pains shortly after I left? No. She didn't get visibly worse after you left or anything. Everything was actually too sudden. She did complain about chest pains from time to time. That actually goes way back before you left. Back then, I thought it was just acid reflux or something. As someone who has acid reflux a lot, I briefly had to consider if I had nanomachine rejection until I remembered that is not a real thing. Moving on. God, I even blamed her death on you. I was just too angry back then. Part of me just wanted to put the blame on someone or something. I mean, to be fair, you are a middle schooler. This is a lot of pressure for a grown adult to act calmly and rationally. You didn't deserve that. Sorry. Hey, I'm sorry too, you know? We both have things to apologize for. Don't think too much about it. I should have been mature and not shout at you either, so... Let's just call that water under the bridge, shall we? Are you sure? Of course I am. So, how did you find me exactly? Well, have you heard of a message board called Danger / Oh my gosh, she found us through Reddit. Reddit has played a crucial role in the plot of this game. Oh no. I have, yeah. Well, truth is that I visit it from time to time. No, Gaby, don't! It's all full of circle jerking and nerds thinking they're smarter than they actually are. Don't go there! And the other day, I read a thread that discussed the bar. description of the bartender sounded just like you. The sad thing is, if you go back into, like, the various messages, I think there might actually be a message early. I know there's one later in the game, too, but I think there might be one earlier in the game that actually does mention, like, Jill, like, oh yeah, this bartender kind of blah 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 blah. So there is a decent chance we saw the post in question that alerted Gaby. If I remember correctly, somebody can probably go back and look at the archives and the videos from earlier days to see if that's true or not, but another example of, like, background elements kind of paying off if you're paying attention. Are you mad? No, not mad. More like dumbfounded. Hey, Joe. Can you tell me what the problem was back then? What sparked that fight? Weren't you happy with my sister? Well, back then, I didn't know what to do with myself after I graduated college. I went in and pretty much hated my last couple of years there. It's not far-fetched to think that I only tolerated being there because your sister was with me. Had she stopped supporting my studies, I would have quit right then and there. Then after graduating, I got a very good job offer that she accepted on my behalf in no time. She kept saying it was the best for me in my future, but I was livid. Why did she have to do that? I hated it. I didn't even know if I wanted to go there, but she still insisted so much. Like she was forcing that burden on me. And then my became our future. She started talking about marriage. You were going to get married? I don't think we ever took it seriously. It was just something she kept mentioning. I don't know, Jill. That kind of sounds like If you kept mentioning it, that kind of sounds like something Lenore was taking serious. Not like we didn't think about that down the line, but she mostly teased me with it. But the thought suddenly scared the shit out of me. I loved her, but I don't think I was ready for such a commitment, especially considering what she did. I don't know what I wanted to do, but I wasn't going to let her decide such a big thing for me. I mean, she could be really pushy from time to time. Like I said, I pretty much passed college thanks to being with her, and that was partly because she was so pushy. Even if she had the best intentions, she could be abrasive from time to time. And it rained down on me at that moment. She took it upon herself to make that choice for me. What would have stopped her once we'd gotten married? What if she suddenly decided to craft my life to her needs after marriage? I knew her. She would do it thinking it was best for me. But what about my freedom? My say on the matter. So that's where you stopped loving Lenore? No! I never stopped loving her. Which is why it hurts so much. But you have to understand. I didn't want to wake up 40 years old at working a job I hate. Just out of routine, getting used to it. I wanted a break from everything for a while to put my thoughts in order. Regroup myself. Think carefully about what to do next. I can understand. I've sometimes felt the same, although I'm not even in college. So that's what led to you two fighting, huh? You know, the word fight makes it sound like we exchanged blows or something. It's all silly when I think back to it. Tragically silly. Can I just say that I will admit that I have never been in a long-term relationship at the time of recording this. But I will say of all, like, the breakups I've ever read, like, long-term relationship breakups I've ever read in a fictional story, or watched in a fictional story, etc., this is dang well written. Like, hats off to the devs. Like, this is, like, this feels real. This feels realistically painful just me reading it now. Like, hats off to them. Very, very good scene. Very good writing here. I mean, good writing in pretty much all of the game, but I've said that so many times that the word's losing meaning, but you get it. Just, the game's written good, y'all. Like I'm convinced that this exact type of breakup happened to one of the devs now. Maybe I was the one who started the fight, getting all defensive about not wanting to take that offer. Perhaps if I didn't overreact to her arguments about wasting this huge opportunity, maybe she wouldn't have lashed out at me this bad. Could have been avoided if I just kept a cool head and talked about that with her. My sister said something like that. Huh? I told you she mentioned on more than one occasion about how sorry she was about the whole thing, right? Should have listened to her to the end, but instead I kept pushing her. I should have kept a cool head instead of letting my jealousy take the best of me. It was her offer, not mine. Should have stopped projecting myself so much into her. Something like that. We are quite the hotheads. You, me, my sis. You were supposed to be the mature one, you know? Play your role correctly. But why didn't you come back, Jill? Did you end up hating us that much? The break include us too? Ow, my heart! No, it's just that... Remember when your sister was giving a class and you broke a window? But you didn't want to see her for fear of being scolded? But my sister wouldn't have scolded you. But I was afraid. Dead afraid. I couldn't bring myself to face your sister. But I faced her back then and I was like 7 at the time. Why couldn't you do it? It's not quite the same. And in perspective, no matter what reason I came up with, it will never make sense. Everything sounds very stupid when I look back, you know? Not that it makes things easier. I won't ever get to speak to her ever again, and it feels bad because it's stupid. I swear, you and my sis were meant for one another. Both moved on after all that, but neither had the courage to go back and say that you're sorry. And like I said, berating myself over those past mistakes won't bring her back. I miss her so much, though. We were together all the time. Always talking about dumb stuff. I wouldn't call my parents useless. She was the one I could always talk to. I feel her absence every day. Everything is just so quiet now. She was an amazing person. Yeah, she was an amazing person. Huh? Mourning is fine and all, but we should be celebrating her life. If she was here, she would tell us that there's no fun in sulking for so long. She told you that all the time. The same way she told you to stop rubbing things in people's faces. Both figuratively and literally. Hey, I was 8 back then! So let's have a toast in her honor, shall we? A toast? Yeah, let me get you a drink. A drink? Don't worry, trust me. Let's make something to toast Gaby with, preferably something sweet. Are you ready to make our last drink in the playthrough, guys? I am so tempted. I am so tempted. Hey, fellas, have you ever wanted to pump a middle schooler full of... But no. We'll just give her what we began with, the sugar rush. Two Adelhigh, 1 powder delta with optional karma tree. All mix. Sweet, light, and fruity. As girly as it gets. Sir. Grab this for a sec. Okay. Lenore, I know you're watching from the beyond right now, as I give a drink to your little sister. It's obvious to me now that we were both meant to make amends at some point, but we never got around to it. I can't apologize to you anymore, but I can at the very least make you rest easier. So know that I'll look out for Gaby in your absence. I'll make sure Gaby grows into a fine woman, just like you were. I'll always be there for her. I'll be sure that little brat doesn't face the same problem you and I had. Hey! Want to add anything? I'll always miss her. Don't say it to me, say it to her. That's a bit... Come on, just this once. I'll always miss you, sis. Sis. Idiot! Why did you keep that secret for so long? Idiot. I always told you everything. Wasn't I enough, you idiotic idiot? Hey, Jill, promise me you won't be like that knucklehead, that you won't keep stuff like that to yourself. Only if you promise the same to me. And promise me we won't fight. I can't do that. Huh? You and I are both too thick-headed. Sooner or later we'll clash on some opinions. But what I can promise is that I won't run away like last time. We'll both cool off and talk it over like the adults we are. I'm not an adult. Let's face it, you've been more mature than I have. Hey, did you mean what you said? That you'll look after me? I'll always be here for you, Gaby. I mean, I'm not Lenore, but I wouldn't dare leave my little sister alone. Oh, my heart a second time. Right in the feels. Ow. Chill. Hey, wasn't this a toast? Right. For Lenore, faithful sister and girlfriend. Cheers. Drink it? You like it? Take a sip. It's not bad. Interesting fact from my previous playthroughs of this game, it does not matter what drink you pick. It can be the most alcoholic thing in the world and she'll still say it's not bad. Like, you can give her, like, a drink of, like, all 20 karma tree and she'll sip it and she'll be like, it's not bad, I could get used to this. Why not drink it, then? You're an adult. You might as well break the alcohol taboo here and now. Except you didn't put karma tree in this one, Jill, but okay. Right. Now that I think back to it, didn't your sister give you beer once as a prank? Oh yeah, that. It was April Fool's. You could have known better when she offered me apple soda. Ugh. The picturing of that. I don't know what would be worse, the tasting the beer thinking it was apple soda, or tasting apple soda, because you know in the cyberpunk dystopian society, it's not actual apples, it's like that cloyingly like Jolly Rancher-esque apple flavor. That overly sweet, artificial one. I put bubblegum on all the soles of all her shoes in retaliation. Evil. Evil child. He walked funny. My jaw hurt for the rest of the day. Yeah, but did you know you got my drink that time? Huh? She gave me a beer and it turned out to be apple soda. Oh. Did you get back at her? Well... I did hide all the dildos in the house that night. Only to find out she knew how to use a cucumber. Again! The tonal shift in this game. Think about the conversation we were having just 5 minutes ago. And now we did this. Also, I like how the TV turns off during this conversation, which, given that the TV turns off every time Anna shows up, is heavily implying that Anna is listening in on this bit of the conversation. And as a follow-up, she used that same cucumber in a salad days later. Oh! Ew! Ew! Ew, 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 ew! People don't do that! He said, so do you like eating me for lunch? Ugh! 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 Gosh! Oh! I don't know why that grossed me out so much, but Chill? I'll tell you when you're older. Don't tell Gaby that story ever, Jill! I'm sorry you had to experience it. That's a story that belongs to your therapist, Jill. Just germs, so many germs. Or never at all. Or never at all. Yeah, definitely the second one, Joe. Definitely the second one. Hey, Gaby. Do your parents know you're here? Okay, so yeah, that explains why the parents aren't here, but... They think I'm at Clarice, actually. Who? Oh, she's my best friend at school. Miss Clary knows you're using her as an excuse, right? Of course! How could she cover for me otherwise? True. Will you go to her house afterwards? To be honest, I didn't think that far. Maybe I will. I do live in another district, but Clary doesn't live close by, so... Well, it can't be helped. I live nearby, and the streets aren't exactly safe at night. Why not stay with me tonight? Are you sure? I don't live in a mansion, but I'd say it's comfy enough. At least to spend the night. Sure, I'd love to stay with you. Great. Hey, does your dad still have that bakery? His bread was really good. Yep, he opened a second branch last year. So he's looking to expand? We got into a partnership with our friend in Motor District. The guy saw an opportunity after realizing Motor District has almost no bakeries. I still remember when your sister introduced me to him. He started shouting, I knew it! I fucking knew you were a lesbian! Mark 1 for daddy! I think he had this bet with an acquaintance of his ever since my sis was 12 years old or so. Dad said sis was into girls. The acquaintance didn't believe him. Bet a beer or what on whether they was right or not. That beer bottle is still in the fridge. It's even labeled Sweet Victory. mad weird to bet on the sexuality of your child, but I don't know. Dads do weird stuff all the time, so I guess don't read much into it. Your mom and Lenore never made up, did they? Guess that one wasn't as simple as the said one too many things argument. Mom was always obsessed with high society and her circle of friends, and her circle of friends, a lesbian daughter was a no-no. Still my sis's side for that one, though. Mom didn't reject her because she was selfish enough, but she did it because her friends were. To Mom, the opinion of her circle of friends was worth more than her own daughter. How did she react to her death? You know, Mom and Dad broke up 2 years ago. They did? They never got married, so there was no proper divorce. I haven't seen her since August, I think? Did you two fight too? No, she just hasn't shown up. You must have felt alone, huh? I've been there. I'm not alone anymore. Thanks to you. Huh? I thought there was gonna be a party here. Alma, over here. Party? A small New Year's celebration. Wanna stay for it? I don't want a kid to burden... Don't worry, you won't. I'll only get a cola for the night, though. No alcohol. Give us time to catch up even more. I can introduce you to some friends. Are you in? If you don't mind me. Great. Hey Alma, come here. There's someone I want to introduce to you. Ladies, gentlemen, and otherwise, I show you, that is Valhalla. Oh, we did it. Oh. I still love this game so much, no matter how often I play it. It's just such a fantastic game, and like you can see right here, like I said, it's mostly made by two guys, Fernando Damas and Christopher Oritz. Shout out to them, and of course Michael Kelly, aka Gavro, did all the music for this. So, I feel bad that I'm pretty sure 90% of this playthrough was, by my own admission, was just me gushing about things I love about the game, like, oh, this part's great, or oh, this character's great, but I can't help it. Like, this game, I don't know if it's my favorite game of all time. Like, it's a little short, I will admit. Although I don't know if it's just short because, I don't know if it's because it needs to be longer, though. Like, it's a good length, it's just... Oh, I could just read so much of this. It doesn't even have to have the overarching plot of, like, Jill moving on from Lenore's death and all that. I could just watch, like, 50 days of just Jill just talking to clients. But yeah, like, there are one or two other games that I might rank above this, just because of, like, just the overall impact they've had on me throughout my life. But yeah, this game definitely ranks up there as one of my favorite games of all, easily in the top 10. I bought it on a whim, too. I saw one streamer on Twitch a few years ago play, like, half an episode and then not touch it again because her voice was too sore to continue, but... Also, I like how there are more people who did the translation for this, seemingly, than the actual deaths. But yeah, I bought this game on a whim, because it was on sale for like $10 on the Nintendo eShop, so... Honestly, that's 2 for 2 on games I bought on a whim. I bought Stardew Valley on a whim too, knowing nothing about it. Maybe I just need to buy games randomly more. Aw, the special thanks to us too. Mom, Dad, family, and friends, thank you for all the support. This is for you. Made Game Maker Studio by Yo-Yo Games. Prologue version made in Rin Pi by Dynamic to Xbox and Taylor Park to Drone. But yeah, thank you guys again for all of you that are here, for joining me on this journey. Even if you're not watching it when this comes out, like I said at the beginning, to play this game for yourself before you joined in. And if you did, then I appreciate you being here now all this time later. Just thank you for experiencing this game for me. Thank you for joining this daily Valhalla ride. It's something I do every year. It's not in private. It's something I look forward to every year, and I'm glad I was able to do it for you guys this time. Did you have fun? Fantastic track as always, for the record. Yep, I also got to meet a cat boomer. Why did your boss hug you, though? Aw, Jill got the hug. She's that kind of person. Now let's sleep. You were dozing off back there. You're right. Good night, Jill. We'll play some more tomorrow. Good night. That's the ending of the game. But now, for the secret endings. Friday, February 3rd. I am very tempted to splice these out of this recording and just put them for the actual days. So, like, you don't get this scene until February 3rd. Like, hello, chat, welcome back to Daily Valhalla for February 3rd episode. I know you've waited a month for this update. Here you go. But no, I'll leave them in. Again, these are the endings you get based on if you do certain these are like additional endings you get on the end of the game if you fulfill certain conditions during the main games. So this is good. Really good. You have no idea how long I've wanted some curry. I remember I meant to eat some, but then I had to pay for some drinks I spilled on the floor. That screwed up my budget. It's the least I can do after being such an obnoxious client. Virgilio's got the shades now. I like how he's not even like keeping his identity a secret anymore. Also, I don't know why, I really like the picture of Jill eating curry in the corner. But yeah. Yeah, about that. Mind if I ask you something, Mr. Timothy Mercury? Lore. So you know. It's a small city. Turns out 2 very grateful girls soon became regulars, and both of them were related to you. So what's your question, bartender? Call me Jill. 2 questions, actually. First one is, why did they brand you as a traitor? Because you killed the other guy? Oh right, the White Knights incident. Yeah, because we found out Virgilio was the one who saved Say and Stella. I don't know, it sounds weird considering the other guy assaulted 2 little girls. It was a cover-up. The guy was my superior. A high-ranking officer like him, assaulting innocent civilians? That would be unthinkable. On paper, at least. On record, I hurt the girls and killed them before killed him before another unit subdued me. Then I escaped from their custody. In reality, that's all I need to know. Sorry for bringing that up. That does explain why Timothy does drop the Virgilio persona shortly after. At least that's my theory. That's why he, shortly after the White Knights imploded, because he said he was doing that persona specifically to avoid the attention of certain crowds of people. So, was it the White Knights? Or someone else? Interesting. Didn't you have another question? Yeah. How'd you build this restaurant so fast? It's a small city. Turns out 2 very grateful girls tracked me down to thank me. One of them was rich and the other noticed I smelled like curry. Those 2 are really nice girls, huh? They didn't deserve what that bastard did to them. Excuse me? Oh, speaking of the angels. Timmy! 2 special curries, please! Oh, hi, Jill! Ending 1 done. Now to January 20th, we're jumping around here. Oh god, I can't believe I'm actually here! The concert will begin any second now! Yeah! I can't do that noise, I'm sorry. Wow, I've never seen her so openly excited before. Don't talk too loudly, you're startling her. Yeah, so they're at the concert now, too. Stella's, like, got a literal fistful of glow sticks in each hand. Like, she is all in. Like, look at her expression, it's just like, no thoughts, head empty right there. It's always nice to see her so happy she doesn't give a damn and lets herself go. You sure you don't mind me? Of course not. That way I won't be the only one with a little clue as to what's going on. Is it true that you served this Kiramiki girl at the bar? As amazing as it sounds. Really nice girl. If a bit oblivious to the risks some people represent. Well, so. She doesn't mind stalkers and such. Oh. How's your wounds? I'm doing fine. Ice healing now. Yeah, Say's bandages are off. Let's go. She doesn't have the eye patch anymore. Ice healing nicely, and I can sleep better at night. Just what transpired inside that thing? It's not important anymore. What's important is that Stella will give me a job after I heal. He will? He's rebuilding a new armor set for me and wants to be her bodyguard. I'll be paid for something that I do anyways, and I'll get to spend more time with her. That's nice. I like to spread out and help more people, but it's a nice start. You want to be a vigilante, then? Maybe. Yeah! She's coming out! It's her! It's actually her! Look, it started! Are you here, Jill? This song is for you! What? Jill just got shouted out in front of, like, hundreds of thousands of people. That's like an introvert's worst nightmare, oh my goodness. Saturday, February 25th. I can't believe you actually made me do that sleepover thing. You didn't have to accept, you know? Shut up. I'm having a good time. See, even Gaby is having fun. Relax a bit. I love how, like, the last 2 drawings are, like, extremely detailed and intricate. And then this one is just purposely, like, sketchily drawn. Like, just all of Gaby's faces are just like, brrr. They don't even have, like, individual fingers. It's just blobs. I love this image so much. Yeah, whatever. You know, Alma, you remind me a bit of my sis. I do? How? You always manage to get a reaction from Jill. She's always said that Jill acknowledging her presence is the best way to know she likes you. You're talking too much, Gabby. Jill is just not having a good time in this scene at all. Aww. It's different with you, though. With my sis, Jill is more frustrated. There was one time where she bought her a shirt that... You're talking too much, little girl. A shirt that what? That had a pic of a cucumber on it. Again with the freaking cucumbers. Cucumber? Ow! Just what are you doing with my hair? Sorry, it got stuck in one of my fingers. Seriously? So I'm a bit like Lenore then. No, you just remind me of her a bit. However, my sister wasn't as ass. What this girl's trying to say is that with your tits and ass, you could build a Lenore and a half out of the mass. That just means there's enough to share with both of you. Share? Gaby's just like, whoa, 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 whoa. You're talking too much, Alma. Gaby may or may not have just had the lesbian awakening right there. But that scene is cute, though. Oh my gosh, Dorothy, what are you having me read out loud? Okay, then. So yeah, this guy had a fantasy about a woman castrating him. I tried for an hour to convince him it's a bad idea, and I finally got to him. We finally moved to the bedroom, and it turns out the guy has a weird implant where his testicles should be. It's basically a removable ball sack. Oh my gosh. Dorothy hooked up with Okaroon. Dorothy is Turbo Granny. Shout out to anyone watching Dawn to Dawn. It's very popular right now at the time of my recording this. Season 1 is. And I've been watching through it, so yeah, it's a little bit on the mind. Suppose the guy really liked that fantasy. And made sure he could live it out properly. I once saw a guy at the hospital in the emergency room after having been castrated to fulfill a fantasy. I wonder if it's the same guy. Anna and Dorothy both here for maximum Jill torture. I have enough problems with just one, you know? Just one what? Jill, how are you still confusing your inner and outer voice? Anna's been hanging around bugging you for like several months by this point. Just listening to one of your anecdotes. You told me about the Neo Tijuana thing and now this. Don't you have a more subdued story? Come on, Joe, you're an adult. You can take that much. Shut up. Well, last time I spoke with my mom, I asked her about the story of her daughter. Turns out her name was Anna. And there it is. Also, I don't know how I feel about Dorothy. Is it just me or in this picture is Dorothy uncomfortably close to the camera? Huh. And now you pretend it's a surprise? Quiet, you. She fought against nanomachine rejection for most of her life. She even lost a girlfriend she made in the hospital to that same sickness. Aww. Apparently, sometime after she got out of treatment, a truck hit her and killed her. Oh my gosh, Anna had an actual isekai death. That's why she's sitting in front of Jill. She isekai'd into Jill's world specifically. I died with only my skirt over my jeans, and I can only talk to one person, but I'm still in the same world, and I've got to find a way to ignore her, make her use her inner voice out loud. Perfect length for a light novel title. But even then, she was amazing. She was? Huh? Yeah, she kept up her studies while still in the hospital. She was a self-taught honors student. Not only that, but she also ranked among the top 5 candidates in at least free college admission exams. Also, hold on, thinking about the timeline here. I think Dorothy implied when talking about her mom/guardian that her mom/guardian did not become Dorothy's caretaker until after Anna had died, because she said, like, oh, she took me in shortly after her own daughter died, and, you know, the replacement, yada yada, but Dorothy also said she's been online for a couple years now, so Anna's death was not a recent occurrence. It was an occurrence that happened several years ago. So what was she doing for, like, several years before she just decided one day, I have decided that I'm going to stick around Jill and bug her forever. Also, I like how Anna has, like, a different colored outline from Dorothy to show that she's, like, not actually there. That's a nice touch. Although it kind of makes her look like she was also badly photoshopped in. She also played the piano and guitar. Well, being confined to a room does... Oh, sorry, this is Anna. Well, being confined to a room does that, I guess. I mean, fully able-bodied people can barely do half of that. But you practically accomplished that all by yourself. How did Anna play guitar with one arm? And she also beat nanomachine rejection, a disease that only 2% of humans suffer, and even less survive. It took a trucking truck to take her down. She was great. To think I'm sort of like her sister. Silly Becky. Honey, did you say something? I did not. Weird. I swear I heard somebody call me Silly Becky. Dorothy can hear Anna? Come again? It's not uncommon for me to hear stuff from far away and think I've heard it nearby, but you're the only one nearby that knows my real name. But it was weird. Oh well, as I was saying, the ball sack guy. Sunday, August 27th. We've jumped far ahead now. But yes, so Anna's not the only person, Jill's not the only person Anna might be able to talk to. I guess this is where we part ways, huh? Oh, the bar closing. Sadly, I'm bound to the city. I can only falsify my identity effectively around here. I really want to thank you, Chief, for the second chance you gave me. If we ever cross paths again, Gil, we're leaving for like a week and a half or something. Don't be so dramatic. Like how they're just casually on a rooftop having this conversation. But and you're taking care of my apartment. We will cross paths because I live there. Gil's really the type of person before like that one family member before you go on a road trip who's just like, if I never see you again. The time you spent setting up a useless farewell could be used asking me things about the place. Like where the switches and valves are. But I already know, they're in that control panel you made. But I like talking about the control panel. I'm proud of it. Speaking of obsessive likes, Jill, stop calling Armtridge. She'll take care of your 4-ball just fine. Oh yeah, so this is Jill and Dana's trip. Yeah, because Dana was actually talking about that. Remember when she went to Jill's house that one time? Well, shout out to Jill and Dana for being the first friends in history to talk about making plans to go on a trip sometime and then actually following through on said plans. I'm not worried about him, I'm worried about me. I've never been away from 4 this long. I don't know what I'll do. You'll do just fine. You did pretty well for at least 25 years before finding him. Yes, but we're leaving. Oh yeah, before I forget, I left you a box of condoms on the first drawer of the desk, Gil. You what? You what? Hey, if he wants to bring his new girlfriend or whatever here, I want him to be ready. Alright, so Gil has a girlfriend now. Good for him. I guess he really hit it off with that one girl on yesterday's stream. Oh, but just one condition. If you're gonna fuck like rabbits, stay away from my room. I have too many pics of my Imudo there, and I don't want their eyes soiled. Imo who? Little sister. Then just say little sister. Yeah, whatever. First stop, Panama. Panama, which I believe is where the Nirvana game is supposed to be set, so to be continued. And there we go, that's all the endings. The sad thing is, I still didn't even get all of them. Here you can now save hard data. Loading hard data will, from the title screen or bar, will let you start over from the day 1 while keeping your items and money. So yeah, basically, New Game Plus. Admittedly, there isn't too much benefit you get from New Game Plus, other than you don't have to worry about like meeting the budget deadlines as much, but other than that. But yeah, that'll do it for this episode. But not Daily Valhalla. Despite everything that suggests there is the ending, there is technically still one more day that we have to go through, and that'll be going live tomorrow. Until then, chat, take care. Bye-bye.